Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2, and today I have a tutorial for you how to make a mini little golden book cover, repurposed junk journal cover. So this is one that I just completed, and I thought I would bring you along and make another one so you could see how I made this. So it is the cover. I'm not going to do a flip through or anything like that, but I'll just sort of basically give you an idea of what it looks like. So I have 5 signatures, including the last one, and this is what I wanted to show you especially here. So I have the text of the book in here too as a separate signature. So the book could actually be read and the illustrations can be enjoyed from the original book. And I've left the inside cover and the inside front cover, inside back cover plain to sort of give you the feel that it is what it is, a little golden book. So I sewed the signatures directly onto a new spine, kept the back plain, and I have a little tassel attached here. And it's put together with, or the closure is an eyelet with twine. All right, and the signatures are, like I said, they're sewn in, but I wanted to show you that it's just like an aqua colored twine. So, so anyway, here's how to make one of these. These are available. I did some research. You can find them on Etsy and eBay. This one, this set, Cyndi had purchased, and they are copyright 1989. Another one I was looking at was 1982, I believe. I've got another one over here that I'll be working up with you. But the original ones, like from the 1940s, those are going to be pretty expensive, but these are really pretty reasonable. And a lot of times people are selling them in sets. So hopefully you can snag one of those. I did check on Amazon and they were super expensive. So, but maybe you're a better researcher than I am, so try Amazon as well. But definitely check out eBay and Etsy and you'll find some little mini golden books. So let's see, search words: mini, miniature, and I think a popular way of saying it is little golden books. Little. So check out those keywords. So these books are about 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So they're tiny. All right, so I'm going to set that aside, and I might refer to it again, but what you'll need then is a little miniature little golden book. Super cute. So they come just like a regular golden book with the tape on the edge, and they have all the similarities except they're just very tiny. So they're super cute. Now the way I made this one, I didn't cut anything. I didn't cut the pages, I didn't cut the cover. I wanted to use the entire cover. So the way I do this is to very carefully peel off the tape, and then I don't use the tape on the cover anymore, but you can definitely, I try to keep it intact. One of the other ones I just did, I thought it was intact completely, but I forgot it had this one little rip in it. But sometimes they come off, sometimes they just fall off basically because they're old, the glue is old. This one I had a little trouble with, so it has 3 rips already. But all I do is just get my fingernail underneath there, and then just as carefully as you can, just get that tape off. And maybe you can use that again. Maybe you can use it, attach it onto cardstock, use it for a pocket or a tuck, or use it in a collage and sort of give it a nod to the original binding, which is super cute, and it's, you know, it's one of their signature things is to have that little tape on there. So when you get that binding tape off, you will see a big staple. And what I usually do is just take a screwdriver. This is my sewing machine screwdriver. I think my grandma is rolling in her grave right now. But it's handy, so I usually grab it and just loosen up the prongs. Sorry, Grandma. Loosen up the prongs. Like that. Come around to the other side. Put that screwdriver underneath. It's strong, so you have to give it a little muscle. And pull it out. And these are also handy too if you have some jewelry pliers or pliers in general. Okay, so then what you have is, it just takes a little bit of tugging because there's still going to be some residue on there. Little tugging, and then you've got your 2 cover pieces and your entire book intact. There is no right or wrong way. I used this in its entirety, just sewed it in as a book, as a signature book. And it's all prepared and ready to go. Just find the middle and then just sew it in as a signature. Some people cut. You know, there's no right or wrong way. I'm just kind of showing you what I do. So, some people cut, you know, a little bit off that side, a little bit off that side, and do different things with it. So, so that would be entirely up to you. So I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. All right. So the next thing is I wanted this to be, fat and chunky, so this spine is 1 3/4 inches. So you'll need a new spine. Oh, before we do the spine though, one thing I do, I want the book to open from the edge of the spine, where the spine and the book cover meet. It's like the typical place a book would bend, right? That's where I want my book cover to bend. And so what I do before the spine usually is, there's a groove here. See how this is a flap? And the way they have it bound, and that's the way they just do it. They have an extra long part right here, and then they staple it, right? So they have extra room over here. I want to use this entire cover, so this groove that's already there is very bendy. So what I usually do is I will take a piece of chipboard. These are just tiny little slivers. I think they're not even 1/8 of an inch. If I can check that out. They are about 1/8 of an inch. So I will glue those into that little groove on each one of these, and that way it helps it resist bending. And so that's one of the things I do. The other thing I'll show you in just a second as well. So just run a little bead of glue in there, and I got way too much. A little bead of glue, and take your little 1/8 inch chipboard. Did I say chipboard? I'm not sure if I did. So it's chipboard. That doesn't have to be super strong chipboard. I think like a medium or a light, even a lightweight will work. It's sort of a preventer to keep it from bending. So do that on both of them. We'll do that. And like I said, if you don't want to do it the same way, you feel free to do it however you want to. Okay, so those are nice and glued in. This one's just a tad bit long, so I'm going to chop that off. Good. And it's still a little bendy. It's not as bad, but it's a little bendy. So what I do here is get this way so you can see. This has it still has a groove, but what I do to make this really not bend is to glue some lightweight chipboard, maybe a couple layers of heavy-duty cardstock, and just glue that right down. Now this, I got a little carried away. They're a little bit big. They only have to go as far as the groove and then past the groove just a hair. So I did get a little carried away with that. And I thought I had everything ready, but that is something I did not have ready. So I am going to take some chipboard pieces. I'll find my chipboard. Ah, I can't find my chipboard, so let me grab a piece. Because this is my spine, I think. Is that my spine? Yeah. Yes, that is my spine. Okay. So we're going to just have to cut some, which is fine. Alright, so this looks like, let's measure this. So it's about a 1/2 inch to the groove, and I want to go a little past that. So I'm going to be cutting this 1/2 inch, maybe right up to the, but this chipboard is a little thicker, so it definitely does not have to be this thick. Okay, so let me try that. That looks great. That looks great. It's also a little too tall, but that's okay. So it's what I'm doing is going about 1 3/4 inches. Oh, my poor cutter. This is just a little desktop cutter. Struggling with that chipboard. So you can put another little piece of cardstock in there, but, or I mean chipboard in there in the groove, just like we did before, but I don't think it'll be necessary. Usually this holds it nice and tightly. Okay. And then just glue that on. Now I am gonna just go ahead and, no measuring, I'm just gonna go ahead and trim this level with the book. There we go. There. Now it is not gonna bend. What am I doing? Gotta glue the chipboard, not the cover. Alright, I'll get that on there, nice and tight. And little trimming. Boom. Alright. So now we have not bending from the front and not bending from the back. So then you may wonder, well, that's ugly. It is. Definitely ugly. So what I usually do is take a piece of like beige to sort of match this. So I am going to, next I'm going to glue that on, and you can ink it up if you'd like to. I think I'm going to leave mine. So just this front edge is going to show. The other edge is going to be covered with fabric. Okay. And then I cut this one already too. Let's get that on. And just line up that front edge, which I would consider to be this side here. Okay. And those are a little bit long too, so whoops. I've got chipboard sticking everywhere here. Okay, and then I'm going to trim my paper. And this side too. I measured this to the one I already did, which I got a little carried away with that chipboard on that one. Too late now though. I'll just have to make it work. Okay, so it should look like this, and have a little chipboard in the groove there, and that'll make your cover nice and sturdy. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is add my spine. So this is about 1.5 inches, and we want to make this one unit. So I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to glue the spine in the center. Like this. I'm going to line it up with my grid. See how I'm doing with centrally locating it. Pretty good. Okay. All right. Now you can ink at any. This may show a little bit. You can go ahead and ink. And then we're going to glue this onto these little flaps here. Before I glue that down, I am going to get a bone folder and give that a nice grease so that we will have an easier time bending that. Okay, so book cover. So leave about 1/8 of an inch gap. And I think my cardstock's a little crooked. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, I think my cardstock's a little crooked, but I think it's going to work out. I'm going to shift this over just a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. And this cardstock should cover those little grooves that we made, and that'll help it also not bend quite as much. All right. Okay, now we need to give this a bend so that our book cover, you know what, I think I might need a bigger piece of, it's okay, that's okay. I'm gonna just roll with it here. I think I cut my my cardstock, my craft paper there a little bit too small. Okay, give that a bend where we scored it. And that's what I usually do. I usually bend it all the way so that I know it's going to bend easily. Fold it, I mean, not bend it. Well, I guess it's bending too, but fold it all the way. Not just a little tiny bend. Fold it all the way like that. And then that way you're sure that your book cover is going to bend easily for you, open and close easily. Okay, all right, good. Now, like I said, I cut this a little too short, so I'm just going to add a little strip. Also, making sure that I'm all lined up here before that glue dries. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right. There. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. I think I might just go ahead and put another little strip of cardstock right there. Just because I want to make sure that I've got it. Is this the one? Thinking I actually used the wrong piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to add a piece. This is going to be covered by fabric. You certainly don't have to cover it with fabric. I think it's cute. You could do a decorative cardstock and be be done with this. Certainly could do that. But I'm going to cover it with fabric, and since I am, I'm just going to go ahead and add another piece of cardstock right here to give my book a little bit more structure and make sure that I've got this bend stiffened with one last thing here. Okay. All right, so I made sure that, and these are different sizes, but I think it'll be fine too. So we've got these pieces of cardstock to make that natural bend in the little golden book cover stiffened. We put the little slivers in the grooves to help it not bend. And now we've connected our back and our front with a new spine. So now you can see we're building our book cover. So the next thing I'm going to do is put fabric here to build up our grooves. We want to have another layer besides just one layer of cardstock, and to cover up kind of the ugly part of it. So a very, very thin layer. We're using wet glue with fabric, so get glue down in the grooves. Just glue the spine for now, and then we'll lift up the fabric and just put a little layer of glue down there too. So a nice thin layer. I'm using Fabri-Tac, which I really, really like. So get those nice and smooth, no lumps. And then take a piece of fabric. I just used a beige, so it sort of blends in with everything. And center this a little bit. And then get a bone folder. Smooth out your spine, smooth out the grooves, make sure you get that fabric in there. And then just a real thin layer here for the flap that goes over the top. You may want to do it all the way over here. This doesn't bother me to have this decorative cardstock showing. I think I did that on this one as well, where the fabric is here, the decorative cardstock here. So I didn't mind that at all. Tried to keep it in the same color family, but you can use contrasting fabric, even contrasting cardstock. I just liked the inside sort of neutral. And so now we have the inside done. Of course, you may choose to decorate as much as what you'd like to, or you may choose to decorate these inside covers if you want to, but I'm just showing you how to do the cover for today. So the rest of it's easy, right? You've done book binding probably and decorating and all that, so it's pretty much the same as a regular size book. All right, so then what I wanted to do is cover this in fabric as well. So I picked a ticking fabric, and I cut it a little bit bigger than my cardstock. I frayed the edges. This one too, nice and frayed edges. Also, you could stick a little piece of lace in there before you put this fabric down. I did that here, so you can see, like, what they call it, headband and an end band. You can make those in there, so you could glue those on probably before you did this lining piece. It's probably still wet enough I could do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it for now. All right. This is a little raggedy right here. So, of course, it's kind of the same thing. We're just going to put glue, a layer of glue, I love the Fabri-Tac for this. I know I mentioned it already. It's just, you know, it's just perfect for fabric. So give it a nice smoothing. Make sure you've got a real thin layer. We don't want any of that glue to seep through. And the nice thing about it is if it dries too quickly, it is super easy just to peel it away a little bit and sneak a little bit more glue in there. Okay, so that's gonna be on there. Sometimes I will take my cardstock and attach it to the fabric and then attach it to the book, but either way. And so there we have it. That is what I do. And this one, I had taken the fabric, attached it to the cardstock, and then sewed a little stitching line there. I didn't do that here, but it's also perfectly fine. It's going to work. See what I mean? This was a little dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and lift that up. Oop. It's got a kind of a big glob there. And smooth it down. And this one's nice and tight. Oh, except for that corner. All right, and there you have it. It's ready to bind and give it a closure. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Super excited about how this turned out. Very fun. It has all the elements that you would put in a regular full-size journal. This is a little booklet. So they are super fun. I hope you give this a try and can find some of those little minis. I think they are just sweet, just real sweet. And it's nice, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a different project than, you know, a regular full-size journal. They still take time because you're putting in lots of little elements, but when they're done, they're just, you can't beat miniatures, right? Super cute. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and have a chance to make something with a little, I think they're called little golden books or miniature golden books. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. The link where you can find us, I'll put the links down below, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.